The Calgary Police Service is currently investigating the theft of 12 firearms from a local outdoor sporting goods store. At approximately 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday, April 19, 2016, police were called to Cabela's, located at 851 64th Avenue Northeast, for reports of a break-in at the store. Our officers arrived to find the front doors on the north side of the store had been smashed and ultimately that several weapons had been stolen. The break-in occurred around 4:40 a.m. However, it was not noticed until 2 hours later when staff started arriving for work. A store manager was inside the store at the time, however, was in a back room and did not hear the break-in take place. Once inside the store, the suspect went directly to 4 glass display cases that housed guns, handguns and long guns. 9 handguns and 3 restricted rifles worth more than $10,000 in total were taken during the break and enter. The suspect was in the store for approximately 4 minutes. The suspect can be described as wearing a black balaclava, blue jeans, black running shoes, and a gray hoodie with blue long sleeves and a logo reading GSRD. He was also carrying a red and white Tommy Hilfiger duffel bag. This video is available on the Calgary Police Service newsroom. The Calgary Police Service will be working collaboratively with the Canadian Firearms Centre and the Chief Firearms Officer to determine that the firearms were stored in compliance with the Firearms Act. Anyone with information about this incident or other firearms-related incidents is asked to call Calgary Police or Crime Stoppers. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. It's my understanding that the alarm was deactivated as the employee was on site doing some administrative work.
Quinn, how concerning is it to you and fellow officers about the theft of several weapons?
It's very concerning. We've seen a dramatic increase in the amount of the thefts of firearms, pistols, long guns, both in residential and commercial break-ins. And often we're finding these guns later on during other investigations, during search warrants at the scene of violent crimes. Sometimes they're discarded in fields and found by hikers or people walking their dogs. So it's very concerning because we know that the inference is these guns were targeted specifically to be used in illicit offenses.
Yeah, they weren't going after jerseys.
Exactly. Any other questions?
This isn't the first time that guns have been stolen from a sporting store like this in Calgary. Is it time for the rules around the security of these stores to change or something? Or is there any ways to work with these stores to prevent this kind of thing?
So you're correct. There have been a few incidents in the past with sporting goods stores. I think there's always an opportunity to look at enhancing security. So perhaps this may be a turning point to begin a discussion about superseding the federal legislation and making best case practice in Calgary or in the province for that matter.
Are you disappointed in the way how easy it was for this to happen?
I'm concerned. These are quality firearms, and I know that in 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months we'll be finding these at the scene of violent offenses. So that's what concerns me, and that part's disappointing.
Is it just coincidence the alarm happened to be off? Are you looking at some kind of connection within the store? They knew the guy was there, or?
Well, we're looking at all avenues during this investigation. We're still early days, but I think it's consistent with someone coming in early for work and to get caught up on some outstanding tasks and simply just disarming the alarm. At this point, we're looking at all options, though.
Seems pretty coincidental that the day they get robbed, the alarm's turned off.
I don't know, yeah, and I don't know if this is a normal practice for people to come in early and shut the alarm off, so we'll have to look into that as well.
Any descriptions of a vehicle that may have been used out during the commission of this robbery?
I have no information on vehicles related to this offense.
Does the store have outside cameras at all?
That's something that we're looking at as well and trying to retrieve those images.
The kind of guns that they chose out of the large selection that were there, what does that sort of tell you about intentions? I mean, you said these are serious guns.
So I think we can only draw an inference that the majority of the guns are pistols. It's my experience that pistols are sought after by people that are involved in criminal organizations and drug trafficking because they're easily concealable and they're a little easy to travel around with. So they're a little more preferable than long guns.
What do you mean by restricted? You said there was restricted weapons. Is that just a handgun?
I think one of the The rifles, one of the rifles was restricted, and that's through an interpretation under the Firearms Act. So I don't know the details and the technical details of what makes some of these restricted and some and others not.
Like restricted in terms of who can buy them or what kind of license you need or what?
Yeah, it's the difference between having a PAL and a PALR. Okay.
This wasn't a smash and grab type of robbery, was it? Quinn?
Oh, it's very much a smash and grab.
Not with a vehicle though.
Oh, you mean like a drive-in smash?
yeah.
No. It was the offender in the video that you'll see on our newsroom gained access to the premises on his own.
Do you know what he used?
Are you happy that these?
Some sort of looks like a blunt object, a bar or a hammer or something.
How did that person not hear glass breaking?
It's my understanding that this person was doing their work at the complete opposite side of the store, and it's a fairly large building, so it is plausible that they were engaged in their activity and just simply didn't hear it above the air conditioning or due to the distance within the store.
Are you happy that security is rigorous enough about this, like stores like these? I mean,
Well, that'll certainly be the discussion we'll be having with the Chief Firearms Officer to make sure that the compliance to the Firearms Act was met. And if it was met, then again, that discussion about is there an opportunity to improve.
I mean, a private owner in his house would face way more rigid requirements. I guess you'd have to have it locked up and safe maybe.
Well, there's the Firearms Act makes a distinction between displaying firearms for a retail purpose, and then there's also a section in there with respect to storage of a firearm. So there are two different sections, and they have different connotations to both sections.